Hi everyone. Okay, so today we have a video, but it's not a project video. It's a video, it's not a review, it's a video for AliExpress and also MagicShine. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to jump straight onto it and bring the camera up to it. So we have two lights here. Two lights, so they're bicycle lights. These lights are meant to be top of the range. So we have MagicShine on the back of them here. They are version 2. They come with these little remotes, little devices. So I bought two sets of lights on AliExpress approximately 2 months ago from the same store on AliExpress. So when I got these lights, well, they worked, they turned on using the button here on top of them. But when you go to program them, or sorry, when you go to pair this remote to the lights, they only work sometimes. So I'm going to demonstrate this now, but before I do that, I'm going to also show a design flaw within the little remotes themselves. So as you can see here, I have 5 boxes, and 3 of them have come from AliExpress. The other 2 have come from a supplier in the UK. So I'm going to just show the way they come. So this is the way these little remotes come. They come with a little lid on the back of them. And what you do is you turn this little catch, you slide it to the left anti-clockwise to open it. But to do this, you have to apply excessive force because there's a design flaw within it that when you go to turn it from 12 o'clock position to 11 o'clock, you end up breaking this tab off on the inside. Believe it or not, strangely enough, but something to do with the design here of these little plastic pieces in the housing. So 5 remotes. When I went to remove, as you can see, there's a little let me see if I can show you this here. There's a little clear tab just hanging out over the edge here, and that's to keep the batteries away from the battery, the cell away from the contact, so the battery doesn't run down. But you have to remove it first before the remote starts working, before you can pair this with the lights. But to do this, you have to remove the cover because it doesn't pull out, because it catches on the connections inside it. It's a bit of there, you can see it there now. So to do that, you have to remove the case or the cover at the back off the actual housing itself, and then you remove this little plastic sheet. What do we see? Insulator, which is in my hand there. So that's basically what it looks like. But you also end up with this little broken piece that falls off the back of the lid. Believe it or not, it happened off every one of these remotes. They all failed. And this is not the only problem with these lights. The reason I'm making this video is because AliExpress has asked me to make it to show them the design flaws of the lights themselves. So I'm going to get into the more annoying one now, the one that really bugs me with these lights. So if you look at this remote, there's 2 buttons on it. So these buttons will go through different stages of the light itself. So if I was to hold this one in, it should turn the light on once it's paired. And then once I hold it in again, it should turn the light off. Also, if you hit this button once, quick, it should go from high to low with these LEDs here at the front. Also, this round button should also go from 1 setting, low brightness, 2nd, and then number 3 setting. But sometimes it jumps across them and you can't even, you have no control of the lights themselves. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to demonstrate pairing the 2 lights and show the design flaws within them. Also MagicShine, so they can take notice of it. So I'm going to put the camera back in the stand here, and now I'm going to do this. So I'm kind of annoyed because these lights is really expensive. They retail at £400 in the UK. I went to AliExpress to get them a little cheaper. But they are the same quality light, they're the same light. If you look at this bracket now, they are well designed. You can see the actual features of the light are well designed. This housing looks all like CNC made. It's a aluminium material. It's got the little cooling fins. It's got everything that a light should be on a bike, strong and robust. This strong bracket too, look. is perfect. But this is not the problem. What do you see now? So I'm going to pair these now, and I'm going to demonstrate this. So what do I do? I'll start with the light on the right. So to pair this light, what you do is you have to have the battery in the remote, the cell. You hold on 2 buttons until the light starts flashing. Is this one going to start? Okay, so that remote has no battery in it. So here now, you see 2 solid green lights. You hold it till it starts flashing. Then what you do is you plug the light unit in to get double blank. Okay, so this light should be paired. This one on the right. Forget about the one on the left here. On my right. So if I hold this button and now this light should turn on, which it does. Okay, so if I would now go to turn it off again, it works. Okay, that's the way it should work. It's good that it's actually working now to demo this. But see if I leave this light sitting now for say an hour, you have to activate, you just can't use the remote again to start the lights up. I think that's normal. So I would have to push this button on top of the head unit, the lamp itself, to get it to work. But when I go to operate this light, it doesn't work again with the remote at all. You have to pair the remote to the light again. So that's something that just started happening with this light on the right. There actually was one of these lights working. So this light now should be paired. So if I hit this button, it should turn on as it does there, and it should turn off when I hold it in. It should also go through the different brightnesses. So I'll turn it on again to demo this. So here's it turned on. If I want to go now full beam, which is 8,000 lumens, I would just click this square button once, and it works as it should. Believe it or not, it wasn't working earlier on when I tried this, but it's working now whilst I'm recording it. So hopefully it feels by the time I'm recording. If it doesn't, I'll start the video footage up again. So I'm going to turn it off now. So I'm not going to go near this one now. Well, I'll try it one more time. So there, lights on, and I can set it to low beam, and then I can go through the different brightnesses by going 1, 2, 3. Then I can go down there again. So it's down low now. If I go 1, 2, 3, and then I can go. So that's the highest setting on the low beam. Then I can go full brightness, which is all the lights at the top too. And I hit the square again, and it's working perfect. But then when I turn it off, hold it in. So now when I come back to this light, I expect it to work, but it doesn't. It loses the signal or the pairability, or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't stay paired. So now I'm going to move on to this light on the left, my left here, and you will see this must be the one that's obviously feeling all the time. This one started to play about last night. So here we go. Just to let you know, these covers or the lids on these remotes are repaired by me myself. I have repaired the little tabs that keeps the lids tight to the enclosure, the little body. So I have actually super glued them on using a type of super glue. So yeah, forget about that now. I'm going to keep looking at these lights. So looking at the one on the left here, I'm going to pair it now just to make sure this one here is still working. Okay, so I'm going to keep the camera rolling here and talk about the other one. We'll come back to this one and we'll see if it still works. If it, let's say it does still work, well, it's making a liar out of me, but there clearly is a glitch in the light. But hopefully I will get it if I stop the video clip and start it again. So I'd rather it stop at field now whilst I was recording, but we'll go for this one on the left now. So the one on the left must be the one that's not working when I'm going through the brightness settings, because I'll just explain that. So what do you see? If I pair this, so again, holding these 2 buttons on the solid green lights to flashes, which is flashing there now. So I'm going to pair this remote now with the one on the left. So plugging the light in, you'll see 2 blinks. Sometimes it doesn't even blink. It doesn't even recognise the remote's there. Okay, so it worked that time again. Okay, so now when I hold in the square, this light should turn on. Okay, so it's working. Very strangely. Making a liar out of me, but what do we see? We'll go through these stages here. So you hit the square now, and it's meant to go down to low beam. Look. but it decides to do nothing. Look there, it's working there now. You seen the green light, I was pushing it and the green light was lighting up there. It decides to take, and it takes its own notion on when it wants to work. The batteries on the remotes are all new. They come with the remotes. I have tested them with a multimeter. So I'm going to again now, I'm going to set this to low and hope that it goes to low. Doesn't go to low. There, it went to high. Sorry, it was on. So what do we see if I get, that's working. So this light's in a different mode at the minute, so I have to change the mode if I remember how to do it. You have to click hard. Okay, so there we go. I'm set this light now in the same mode as this one. So if I hit the square now, you go full beam. There's full beam. Hit it low again. There, it's working there now. Square, full beam, low. So this is working now like this light. Because I double clicked the light, the switch on the body. So now if I go, this is low beam, so there should be 3 settings here. So if I push this button, so there's the lowest setting. If I hit this once, 1, 2, 3, it's working, okay. When I go low again, 1, 2, 3, it's working, 4. Okay, so this one's actually working now, strange enough too. So again, it's making a layer out of me, but what do you see? There's an intermittent fault here, and I will prove it. So if you go again now with full beam with a square one, look, not working. So if you hit the button, what do you see? Working now. Working now. Sometimes it doesn't work. Hit the button now, working. Hit the button. Working. Right, so now I'm going to go the low beam again, see if it's working. Okay, so it's all working. Hold it on to turn it off. Okay, so this is weird, the light is actually working now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try this light again. Say the light works again, I'm going to follow on and make another video again and go through the same process. So I'm going to try this light on the right again now and leave this light alone. So holding this to turn it on. Okay, so it turns on. We're going to go from high to low beam. High beam, low beam. Then we're going to go through the different settings. So that's the lowest setting. Second, third, fourth. Lowest setting. Then I'm going to hit the square for full beam. So that's strange, that light's working now too. Okay, so we're going to go back to this one. I'm going to turn it on the square button. Okay, so it's working. Square button, full beam. Okay, it's working. Square beam, square button, low beam, working. So I'm going to go through the different stages now. 1, 2, 3. So this is controls the low beam. So I'm going to go round button, working, working, working. So that's strange considering, well, I have been experimenting with this for the last 6 hours and it hasn't worked, but it works for the video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the remotes sitting exactly where they were, and I'm going to come back to the lights in maybe 15 minutes and I will start the recording again. So I'm going to leave the remotes exactly here, and I'm going to leave this one for this light right beside it. So I'll put them on low setting first. Okay, so we're going to set that one right here, and we're going to just make sure it's in low brightness. Okay, we're going to set that one right here beside that one. So hopefully you can see that. I'll set it there, and I won't interfere, I won't touch them. I'll leave them exactly as they are. So when I come back now to these lights, one of them won't be working at all. It's strange that they seem to be working now, but I will show that in a wee minute. So when I go to turn this light on, you can't use the remotes. That's one thing. You can't use the remote to turn them on. You have to activate the light bulb using the top first, then you can use the remote. But the problem is that for one of them, the remote doesn't work. One of all the lights, the other Goodwood light that I thought was good, started messing about last night. So this is why it's so confusing. So yeah, we'll continue on with this video in a wee minute. Okay, so 2 hours later, I'm going to test these little light units again. So starting with the one on my right, we're going to try and turn this on using the remote. Okay, so it doesn't turn on. You have to turn it on at the lamp first after a certain length of time. So what do we see? Okay, so it's on there now. It's on low beam. So if I want to put it in the high beam, I should hit the square button and it should go to high. There we go, working. And if I want to go through the different stages and low beam, I go 1. So see the way it didn't work there? It should be working, but it's not. So the next click now, you'll see it going, you'll see that it goes through the 2 stages, which it should only go through the 1 on the first click, if I'm making that clear. So what do we see? Okay, so see the way it went through the 2 stages? It should only have completed the, well, it should have completed the first stage first, but it didn't. It jumped over the first stage on the second click. So obviously there's something wrong there. So if I do it again, there again, so it's not working. First click, second click, it jumps the light twice, and the third click works. So again, low setting. So I'm going to hit the round button here once more. Work that time. Working now, second click, third click, back to low setting. So if I go high beam, low beam, using the square button, then if I want to go up the brightness to say one setting, if I hit this again, okay, so it's working now. So see, there's a little glitch there in these lights. So working better than it was, but yeah, we're going to turn this one off now, and we're going to try turning it back on. Okay, so there we go. If I go full beam, dip, full beam, dip, we'll turn it off, holding in the square. So that light seems to be working now, even though there's a little glitch there when you're going through the low, medium and high setting on the low beam, if that makes sense. So we're going to try turn this one on now. So again, we're going to just test it with the remote. So it doesn't work. You have to turn it on the head light itself first. Okay, so it's on now. It's on low beam. So if I hit the square to go full beam, there we go. So it doesn't work at all. This remote does not work with this light anymore. Isn't that shocking? So you can see there, I'm pushing that and the green light's coming on, and the light is not working. So these lights have been given glitches right through. This one more than this one. But as you can see, it's not working no more. So for me to get this light to work again, I have to pair the remote, and I can do that now to well, to show that. So what do we see? So the remote's not working, so I have to turn the light off here. Okay, so it's turning on now once I turned it off here first. So that is so strange. Okay, and now it's not turning off again. So look. It turns on with the remote, but it doesn't turn off with the remote. It doesn't go through the settings. It doesn't go through the different settings or anything. So if I was to bring another remote on here and try that, this light still does the same thing. So quite poor, considering it's a brand new lamp. So again, in order for me to get this remote to work properly, I have to pair it. But after an hour, it doesn't work. Or after a certain length of time even. I'm saying an hour because that's when I went back to look at it. Well, an hour, 2 hours. So again, I'm going to try and turn it on. It turns on with the remote, but it doesn't turn off. Quite annoying. So clearly there's something wrong there with that light. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to try and pair it again. So again, holding on the 2 buttons till they start flashing, and we're going to plug this back in. 2 flashes, and we're going to try and turn it on. Okay, so it's on now. If I try and turn it off, see how long it took for it to turn off there? So it actually worked, but it took ages for it to turn off. It took about 3 presses. So again, try and turn it off. 3rd click, 4th click, 5th click, still won't turn off. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try and use a different remote this time. So the seller actually has sent me another one of these remotes to try and solve this problem. A seller off AliExpress. So that's why I have the 3rd remote from AliExpress. So that remote is here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a battery into it here, and we're going to, well, see if it works. So what do we see? Okay, so we're taking out the little bit of plastic. We're putting the battery in and putting a little tab on. So this tab, there's 3 legs at the bottom of it, and that's a fault with these light units. One breaks off when you go to open the remote. The remote's even. So if I put this on again, and we'll program this remote instead. Okay, so we have the battery in, we have the tab around in its position. So to program this one, plug the light out. Hold the 2 buttons in. It flashes, which it clearly is. Then plug the light in to see the 2 flashes. Okay, so sometimes this doesn't even work. It doesn't even recognize the remote. The remote just keeps flashing this light here. So if I was to demo turn this on again, there we go. Full beam. Not working. Not working. Sad. So it turns the light on, but it doesn't control it. It doesn't turn it off. 2 remotes doing the exact same thing. So I'm going to give my final opinion on these lights. I think they're well built, but I think they're a piece of rubbish. And that's it. So that's my video for AliExpress and also MagicShine. So I hope you enjoyed it. Not one of my project videos, but these lights are rubbish.